Hello Manchester fans. Welcome to our latest Manchester United transfer news update. Man United ready to offer blank cheque to beat Barca to signing. Manchester United might have failed to stop Arsenal from getting past them in the Premier League last night with Mikel Arteta's team steamrolling their way to a 2-0 win, but the game was anything like the scoreline suggested. The first half was even, with Manchester United controlling the ball the best that they have in a long time, and showcasing that they can be a possession-based team. Whether they did anything with keeping the ball is a different story. However, in the second half, Arsenal, like they always do, found a way to get their heads on the ends of crosses from corners. Among the several corners they tried on the night, 2 of them were successful, leading to an important win. AMORIM will know that he has to be patient with his team while they continue to understand his play style. However, the Portuguese coach will be looking at new signings in the transfer market, and he could turn to Sporting CP. Now, as per Catalan outlet Nacional, Man United are ready to offer a blank cheque to beat Barcelona to the signature of Victor Gyökeres. The Swedish striker has been in top form this season and has been scoring goals for fun. One major thing about Gyökeres is that he adds a lot of quality to the team. Barca would be looking to get him to eventually replace veteran goal scorer Robert Lewandowski. However, United may have the edge with their manager. The talented number 9 has played before under Ruben Amorim and is likely to fit in right away, making this a smart piece of business for the head coach. Gyökeres is valued at around £65 million by Sporting, and should Man United decide to sign him, it is most likely set to be in the summer rather than now, and let's wait and see how things play out going forward. Ruben Amorim agrees with Roberto Martinez's assessment of Man United versus Arsenal. Ruben Amorim has agreed with Roberto Martinez's assessment of Manchester United's 2-0 defeat to Arsenal. Ruben Amorim suffered his first defeat as Manchester United head coach, with the team falling 2-0 to Arsenal on Wednesday evening at the Emirates Stadium. United approached the game with focus on stifling Arsenal in attack by employing a disciplined defensive setup. It showed success, especially in the first half, with Mikel Arteta's men left frustrated, but also meant that United could not create many chances of their own. Arsenal eventually broke through in the second half, using their well-known physical edge during set pieces to score twice from corners. Despite the setback, there were positives for United, including a strong display from Harry Maguire and a promising debut for Leny Yoro. However, Amorim has significant work ahead to address areas in need of improvement. Amorim agrees with Roberto Martinez. Portugal boss Roberto Martinez was on punditry duty for the Amazon Prime Sport Clash and offered his assessment on the game after full time. He believed that Arsenal's delivery from set pieces made the difference for the winners and compared Arteta's strategy to that of former Stoke City manager Tony Pulis. "We were talking about how tight the game was, but that delivery makes every strategy that you work on in the set play work," he said. "We all suffered Stoke, and I think it is a great credit to remember Tony Pulis and the work that he did with the throw-ins. When teams do something exceptionally well, you have to try to find a different way to defend it." Amorim agreed with this assessment when discussing the game, claiming that the set pieces were the difference between the teams on the night. "The set pieces changed everything. 2 set pieces," he began. "We have to understand they have years of doing that. Arsenal can change games like that. We tried to defend them with the space of 2 days to train, but it's hard for every team to defend Arsenal's set pieces. Ruben Amorim must get brutal and sell Man United star who wants to play more. Ruben Amorim will need to make tough decisions to return Manchester United to the top of the Premier League. If Ruben Amorim is to complete a rebuild at Manchester United, he will need to be ruthless with players who are only sporadically available. That could involve the difficult decision of selling Luke Shaw to create space for a player better suited to the physically demanding wing-back role the Portuguese coach employs. Shaw is set for another spell on the sidelines to compound an extremely tough 18 months. He spent the majority of the 2023-24 season on the sidelines and believed that after 3 games with England at Euro 2024 that he had finally overcome a calf issue that had plagued his campaign. But upon returning to Manchester for pre-season, the 29-year-old suffered a setback and missed United's start to the season. Shaw never featured again under Erik ten Hag and only reappeared in AMORIM's first game in charge, the 1-1 draw with Ipswich 10 days ago. The wingback roles in AMORIM's 3-4-2-1 formation requires extreme fitness. They act as wingers when United have the ball, making hard long-distance sprints, and are a key creative component. Out of possession, the wingbacks are tasked with sprinting into the back line, making duels and protecting the three central defenders. Is Shaw able to play that role over the course of a full season, incorporating Premier League, domestic cup competitions and European matches? The evidence is that the England international will find it tough. Whether, even when fit, the former Southampton player has the required quality in the final third is an entirely separate question. In 2022-23, the last time he played more than 30 Premier League games, Shaw provided just 2 assists. United, whose co-owners Ineos are keen to bring down expenditure, cannot afford to carry anyone. Luke Shaw wants to play more, but we have to control it, we have to rotate the team, AMORIM said only last week. In the future we will have a different system, you can see more of a starting 11. Shaw himself is devastated. It is a cruel end to a calendar year in which he has made only 6 Premier League appearances. He wrote on Instagram, "It's hurting a lot having to write this as I really thought I had got through my recent struggles and was on a positive path going forwards, but unfortunately I've had a small setback. I've been through a lot, and had a lot of ups and downs, but this has definitely been my toughest period. I'm absolutely devastated, and it's extremely tough to come to terms with reality at this moment in time. United may decide to move on Shaw and other often injured stars to create a squad that can handle the physically demanding nature of AMORIM's football. I'd expect Man United star's potential next destination named by figure who tried to sign him before. Manchester United defender Harry Maguire is surely going to be targeted by West Ham United again, according to Mick Brown, who has worked at both clubs. Maguire is not currently playing regularly for Man United, with the club investing a lot in new defenders in recent times, with Matthijs de Ligt and Lenny Yoro both joining this summer. This surely points towards the experienced England international moving on to somewhere where he can play more regularly, and Brown has named West Ham as a likely possible destination. Man United transfer target could be cleared for move. Speaking to Football Insider, Brown discussed his past efforts to bring Maguire to West Ham when he was a scout there, as he insists he was always going on about the former Leicester City man. Maguire was the subject of a bid from West Ham, but a deal couldn't be agreed, and so the 31-year-old remains at Old Trafford, despite still being a backup player. Could Harry Maguire to West Ham be back on? Discussing the Maguire situation, Brown said, "Any club who wants a solid and experienced leader and centre-back will be interested in Harry Maguire. He's a huge threat from set pieces, both defending and attacking them, and he's good on the ball. He was England's first-choice centre-back for years, so he's got so much experience. I was constantly on about him when I was at West Ham, but they made an offer of £20 million for him, and it was quickly rejected. They're still looking at signing a new centre-back now, so I'd expect that interest is still there. If United decide to let him go at the end of the season, there are clubs queuing up for his signature, so he won't be short of options. West Ham are struggling at the moment, so could surely do well to strengthen their defense with a proven Premier League player like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video with more Manchester United update news.